you want to compensate because when you did not have money, the women were not there. So now you entertain a lot of women. You entertain, and women come with demands. There's always an emergency. There's always something.
I got 3 kids, but I'm smarter. Let's stop playing games. You know you're not as attractive with 3 kids as a woman that doesn't have 3 kids.
The nigga bitch, my favorite. These hair hat queens, these EBT all-stars.
Take a man that's making $20,000. He knows that he's not high value. He knows he's not high in the market. You could take a woman right now who's 200 pounds that got 2 kids by 2 different dudes, and she thinks she the shit.
Lost everything because of women. You see, let me tell you, in my line of work, anytime I do advisory sessions, I try to understand the person so that I can also understand why are we having money problems at this phase in your life. And I'm sorry to say, but women have played a very big role in some of the mistakes that men have made in their lives as far as money is concerned. A man is in his 20s. You've gotten your first big job. There's always something that you've always wanted to accomplish. Women, over and above the big cars, over and above the lifestyle that comes with having this big guy money, the women will be there. You're a light, and the mods start coming and gravitating towards you. Now, at that point, you want to compensate because when you did not have money, the women were not there. So now you entertain a lot of women. You entertain, and women come with demands. There's always an emergency. There's always something, you know. Right now we have girlfriend allowances. It's not bad. It's not bad to take care of your woman, you know. But imagine a man with 5 girlfriends in his 20s, trying to live a good lifestyle, but at the same time trying to sustain these women in his lives. I mean, they're all making him happy. At the end of the day, you do what you gotta do, you know. But then again, you get to your 30s, get into another chapter of your life. You're still trying to entertain women. You're still trying to live your life and achieve this big dream that you've always had. At the end of the day, these two ends of the spectrum will not balance. There's always one end that will win in the end. And most times it's the women. So you lose a lot. You lose yourself. You lose money. You lose your life. And you try to rebuild again in your 30s. And it's very difficult and very sad when you want to rebuild your life, knowing very well that you had a couple of shots in your 20s to live this good life, but you lost all of them because of women who don't want anything to do with you right now. Women who are married to other men right now. It's very sad. And it doesn't happen to men alone. Even ladies. We live in a world where we have very many independent ladies, which is a good thing. But at the same time, we have so many Bentens, so many men who don't want to work and be men. There's always an emergency. Babe nitumie. Babe gari imefanya, you know.
Yeah, so you understand. And a lot of guys have experienced this. And so what are most men doing now? They're saying, while I'm young, especially, I'm going to focus on myself, forget about dating. What am I going to say? I'm financially celibate. I'm telling y'all, being financially celibate is the way. It's the key to life now. Why waste your life? They'll have no problem wasting your life, especially if they say you're trying to please them. But let's continue. We're going to get into the meat and potatoes of the video. We're going to get into, I'm going to react to this podcast here. Let me see. What's the name of the podcast? It's from the Big Facts Network. It's from Lava Carisha. Let's check it out.
Dedication to working on the education system. What do you think is the biggest disconnect between the education system and the youth today?
The biggest disconnect between the education system and the youth today is them not caring enough about their education. It all starts at home. What I see as an educator is poor parenting. Parents not getting them how can I say, focused about their education. You got a lot of parents and mothers out there who they focus on still being a baddie while instead of trying to be a parent. You know, you need to stay home with your kids instead of taking that trip to Miami. You know, I see this stuff firsthand. Sometimes I see a kid failing all their classes, and then I see their mom on social media, Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, they out partying. I'm like, that's the problem now. Your kid can't read, and you out partying. If it was me and my child couldn't read on grade level, I wouldn't party until my child knew how to read.
Relationships, the divide between black men and black women. I see some of the things you spoke about in your own work. My first question is, how do you think we can alleviate that war between black men and black women that's just growing bigger and bigger and bigger with these podcasts?
Well, that war can be alleviated with people just being objective. I like to say I like to focus on objective truth. I'm not big into playing games. I like to look at the facts. What do the facts state? If you look back into the early 1900s, the 1930s, 1940s, 1950s, even when we were more oppressed than we are now, the way our households were run, the way our communities were run, there was less violence in our communities. There was more of a village. We had gender roles. This new divide with people saying, oh, we shouldn't have gender roles and a man could do this and a woman could do this. No, a woman has her role to play and a man has his role to play. We need to get back to, that's what I say in the book. We need to get back to the customs, the culture that allowed our ancestors to thrive even while being oppressed. We need to get back to that. There's too much games and too much, foolery playing around. People don't want to be objective. If you tell a woman right now, you had 3 kids, that drops your value. They say, no, it don't. You know, I got 3 kids, but I'm smarter. Let's stop playing games. You know, you're not as attractive with 3 kids as a woman that doesn't have 3 kids.
Real talk alert.
Dr. William James.
You're just not.
Wait, what?
Oh, you heard it. You heard the men said, yeah. And who was that? Oh, he don't know what he talking about. They started screaming immediately. Why? Just from the man telling the truth? Look, the man already said what he said about single moms, right? Not raising their kids right. So now he's calling out the problems. This is a problem. Carrying out in the audience is not going to fix the problem.
You can't play games.
So wait.
I'm sorry.
Let me peel it back. Let me peel it back.
No, peel it back.
So do you think
The audience, it sounded like they were at a baseball game. I gotta run that back real quick.
Sorry.
let me peel it back. Let me peel it back. So do you think the gender roles, excuse me, I got it. Now y'all want to pay attention. When he says something y'all don't like to hear, I got it.
The truth.
Now let's go back to gender roles. Do you think gender roles will take us back to like the 1960s? When you say gender roles, first of all, define what you mean by gender roles.
By gender
What's
roles,
your opinion, your idea of a gender role?
gender roles is certain things are specifically for the man to do, certain things specifically for the woman to do.
Yeah.
So, for example, the man taking out the trash, the man fixing the car, that's a man's role.
Right.
The woman cooking, the woman cleaning, that's a woman's role.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that. Just like if, let's just say you and I were a couple. If we step outside, it's my duty to walk on which side of the road, other side of the street.
You're supposed to be near the curb, and I'm supposed to be on the inside.
And why is that?
Because you're the man and I'm the woman.
And I'm the protector.
Yes.
That's my role, protect and provide. Ain't nothing wrong with having that as a role.
Take notes, Emily.
If we go outside and a robber approaches us, it's my job to defend you, lay my life on the line for you. I'm supposed to do that as a man.
Right.
That's not a woman's job. I wouldn't expect my woman to step up in front of me. That's my duty.
Okay.
Now, with all of this modern feminism, which was started by a lesbian, that got them thinking a woman could do what a man could do.
Yeah.
She could jump up and fight like a man can. No, you can't.
You can't do that. And we've already seen so much proof that you can't do what you want to do. And you know, this is a talk to try and make it better. Try and make it how it used to be. One of the reasons I left, I said almost every video, there's no hope. I didn't see any hope. I wouldn't have left. If I saw hope, I wouldn't have left. I would have stayed. But look, 11 years later, did things change yet? I wanted to get married. I believe in the old school way, right? So if I wanted to get married, how old am I now? Think about it. I'm 45 years old. I left in my early 30s. Ain't that something?
Can't stay in a woman's place. Let the man be the protector.
So, very hot topic. I see where you're coming from. And I kind of feel like feminism did cause a little setback. However, I feel like with the gender roles, if you say that gender roles have to come back into place, it's going to that's just like saying, once you say it, there's no going back on it. So once we say that, then that's going to do you not think that's going to wipe away feminism?
Modern feminism needs to be wiped away.
You don't agree with
It was terrible.
Okay.
So modern feminism came into play in the late 1960s, like around 1969, 1970, with a woman named Margaret Sloan.
Right.
She founded the National Black Feminist Organization. She hated men. All of the time where we see feminism, even when you go back to the 1800s with Elizabeth Stanton and Susan B. Anthony, they were white women who were racist, and their argument was with the white man. That had nothing to do with black people.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't even like black people. They didn't even want Sojourner Truth to be a part of the movement. So you got racists and you got women that hated men starting a movement, and then you got modern women jumping on the movement. That makes no sense. Leave that alone. That got nothing to do with us. We need to love each other, understand one another, and move forward. That modern feminist movement is trash.
Sure is.
Make some noise. I'm going to change gears a little bit. During a past interview, you said that the removal of black men from the family assisted with tearing down black families. So this is all public knowledge. You know this. I know this. I'm sure everybody in the room knows this. Yet the numbers have not increased with black families. Why is that?
The number's not increasing as far as what?
As far as the man in a household, marriage, two-parent households. We'll start there.
Because what they did worked. What you're saying, the time that...
So they're talking about feminism, right? I got to show you guys this video real quick. It's going to show you how bad it's gotten.
Bite the apple. There was no apple. It said fruit of life. Eve ate the fruit and she provided it to her husband.
So the rule wasn't to not eat the fruit?
The rule was don't even touch the fruit. So being that close to the fruit, Eve already messed up.
Can't make this shit up. Leave that alone. That got nothing to do with us. We need to love each other, understand one another, and move forward. That modern feminist movement is trash.
Mm-hmm.
Make some noise. I'm going to change gears a little bit. During a past interview, you said that the removal of black men from the family assisted with tearing down black families. So this is all public knowledge. You know this. I know this. I'm sure everybody in the room knows this. Yet the numbers have not increased with black families. Why is that?
The number's not increasing as far as what?
As far as the man in a household, marriage, two-parent households. We'll start there.
Because what they did worked. What you're saying, the time that they started the removal of black men out of the household with the man in the house law, where they literally rewarded women for kicking men out. They wouldn't give you government assistance if they found evidence of a man in the house. That came around at the same time where they started mass incarcerating men. Black men. Shortly after that, you had the war on drugs in the 1980s where they started incarcerating, locking all our men up. So they've been at war with us, locking us up, rewarding our women for kicking us out the house.
I don't want to cut you off. I understand that. But my thing is, now we know, but the numbers still are not increasing. So why do you think it's still like going
still
down?
there.
Because nothing's changed since they put that into play. You still got women who will go out, get pregnant by a Pookie or Ray Ray, knowing he ain't, because they know they get government assistance. They don't care if he there or not. They only make $15,000, $20,000 a year. They know he ain't going to take care of the kid, but they know they got that government assistance to lean on. And so it's too many of us still relying on government assistance.
Yeah, what's happened is so many females, not all, but there are still a lot of females that rely on it for everything. and they're losing it. Seriously, they're losing it and going, what do I do now? It's wild. Then you have the ones that are hyper independent. There's no in between. Back in the day, it was in between. What I saw growing up was I come from a mother and a father home. All of my cousins, most of them do too. My immediate cousins, they do too. But nowadays, that's dead.
Black child playing in a household, playing in a family, playing in a pregnancy. They're just going to rely on government assistance. You keep relying on the system, they keep you locked in the system. You can't get out of it.
Do you think they should do away with government assistance?
That's a hard one because some people really need it. There's some people who, I come from humble beginnings. My parents wasn't on government assistance, but both of my parents were maintenance workers. My father ended up, getting investments and doing certain things later to be successful, but he never relied on that. My parents worked hard and stuff like that, but I know some families who really need it. But I think what we need to do, I think people need to plan their families. I'm tired of people having...
Not plan the family.
Yes, people need to plan their families. Yeah. And you need to save money, have a certain amount of money saved before you can have a kid. I'm tired of seeing these struggle families and these struggle babies, and y'all broke up before the baby even get here. Child. I'm tired of seeing these baby showers and the father not even there. It's just a woman taking pictures by herself with her sister and the aunties and stuff like that. We need planned families, have some financial literacy, plan it, save some money, prepare for the child so that you can invest in your child. There's too many people that think having a child and just putting food on the table and closing their back is the end of it. Right. What about the resources? What can you provide your child? Right. Can you get that child to play a sport? Can they play an instrument? Can they learn an extra language? How do you invest in your child? What can you provide for your child other than food?
I'll tell you this, right? Forget the play a sport. That's all things of this world, right? Teach the kid a trade. One thing that's happening right now, right? Because in the future with AI and everything, and they're talking about it, the most millionaires are going to be tradesmen. So if you're a man out there that's young, get into the trades, because nowadays everyone's not learning to be an electrician. Nobody's learning how to be a plumber. Nobody's learning these basic trades. But you know where they teach these basic trades at? They actually teach them to prisoners, which is wow. But yeah, learn the trades, man.
And water, the bare necessities. You got to do that. You literally have to by law. Right. What else can you provide for your child? Prepare for that child instead of just going out, having a good night of sex, getting pregnant, and then raising the next drug dealer or gangbanger.
Right. I love it. Very well said. Very compelling conversation. If you could begin a quiet movement to create lasting courage in the community, I want to know which of these you would focus on. So, guys, I pulled up some things that really are damaging in the community. And if you could pick one of these things to make change, what would it be? I have financial literacy and ownership, reading and education, mental health, and the relationship dynamic between men and women, AA, co-parent.
You know, so many young kids out there can't read. I gotta look up that number real quick, because there's so many. How many kids? Many kids nowadays in the Black community that are young are at their correct grade rating level. It says about 16 to 18% of Black fourth graders are roughly 50% of Black eighth graders read at above the proficient correct grade level standard. So only 16 to 18% and 15% of Black eighth graders I hope he says reading, because we're struggling with that. Let's see what he says.
Parenting. What do you think will immediately change? What immediately bring change in our community?
The family and co-parenting.
Okay.
It all starts with that. It all starts with the family. That's why I talk about relationships.
And that'll definitely fix the reading problems, the parenting. Because if a father's in the home, there's no fathers in the home. So there's no discipline in the home. So great answer.
Relationship so much. If the black man and black woman can't get on the same page as far as dating, then how are we going to get to the family?
How do we get on the same page not to cut you off? How do you think we get on the same page? Do you feel like it's the woman or the man? Because last time I checked, I mean, you, but some of y'all just a little, y'all want to have 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hold up. She said, is it the females? I gotta let this brother take it away.
Rests on the failures of black women. At the end of the day, it is black women that have caused mainly a lot of the problems that we see today. Let's start off with the good black woman. She's honest, hardworking. She cares about herself, her image, and where she's going. She may come from a broken home. She may come from rough circumstances, but she doesn't let that define her. She dresses and carries herself like she's deserving of respect. She does not aim to impress niggas, or does she lower herself to nigga standards. She keeps her head high, her goals and ambitions forward. That's one thing a lot of these black bitches today don't have. Ambition, drive.
I'm not listening.
The good black woman, she does. She's working to start a family. She's looking in pursuit of somebody that she can support, build, and grow with. Black women like this are only 25% of black women today. Now on to the nigga bitch, my favorite. These hair hat queens, these EBT all-stars, love up everything for black people. And they're the main contributing factor to why black people have no respect. It is black women like this that earn that angry black woman title. They're loud, obnoxious, masculine as Damn! They come with so many problems and so many issues that they don't want to.
Damn. Okay, you gotta hear it come out real quick. Damn.
It's about damn time.
That's how I felt like. Damn. But it's the truth. It's the truth.
And yeah, what do we think?
As far as dating, who's more off key? It's the woman.
You think it's the woman?
Yes.
You think the woman, not even black or white, you think the woman is the reason why the dating dynamic is off key?
Yes.
How?
You ever see Kevin Samuels show?
Kevin who?
Kevin Samuels.
Yeah.
You ever see Kendra G?
Kendra G.
They screaming again. They hate the brother Kevin Samuels. That man tried to bring us together. And you ladies, man, he saw hope. He was one of those keep hope alive brothers. I was the opposite. I'm the Iceman. Seriously. Keep hope alive. Before he was saying that, I got to say it. And I've said it in plenty of videos. Before he was saying that, right? Before the manosphere even really got popular, right? When all this talk was happening, I was here.
Expose it. Like I said, you got to be objective on the dating scene.
Okay.
Men are more honest when they know that they're not up to par. If you take a man that's making $20,000, he knows that he's not high value. He knows he's not high in the market. You could take a woman right now who's 200 pounds that got 2 kids by 2 different dudes, and she thinks she the
But why do you keep bringing up a woman and her kids, though?
Because your kids drop your value.
They do.
Okay, but what about the men who got 2 or 3 baby mamas?
So that drops his value too.
Okay, so
But the man will know it drops his value. Women won't know it.
You're right about that.
It's true.
Women will argue that their kids don't drop their value.
You know what's funny? Because you heard what he said. You see it all the time. The same talks are for men and for females. Ladies say the same thing. Oh, you don't want a man with kids. Get a man with no kids to take care of your kids. That's the thing nowadays. You expect a man who's in his 30s, who wants to start a legacy, to take care of your. This is what's happening. He's not going to talk about that though, because she's asking the questions, and he's just keeping it. He's doing a good job though.
I think it's on both sides. It's on both sides.
Oh no,
No,
the evidence is in our face. You see who argues it more.
Who argues it more?
Women argue against it more.
Women argue.
If you ask the woman right now, do you think your kids drop your value? More women will say no than men.
Do you honestly think a woman is going to admit, like, say that my value drops because I have children?
no, that
They
wouldn't be
should though. A man would.
But they don't though. But men don't admit that.
Oh, you hit him in the
They
audience?
do.
I've never seen a man admit that. And
I've never.
first of all, let me just say I don't have kids, and
She's right. Men don't just openly say it, but they know it though. You won't see men arguing that. Ask the men in the audience. They probably say, yeah, it does. Some probably won't, but
I am literally waiting until I get married. There's no ring on this finger. So when he steps up, then we could do something. But yeah.
Yeah, it drops. You got to be honest about everything that drops your value. There's certain things. Women are more likely to take on a man that has kids than a man is to take on a woman that has kids.
You said women. You said women are more likely to take on a man that has kids.
Yeah, than a man is to take on a woman who has kids, if he has none.
Okay.
So if the woman has no kids, she's more likely to take on a man who has kids than a man with no kids is to take on a woman with kids.
But even still, where we are in our community, everybody has kids.
No, they don't.
A large majority of them have kids. So I don't think that the final argument should be that you have to admit that you drop your value because you have kids. I think that the final argument should be, yes, I have kids. I do have some shortcomings, or I do have some things, but let's communicate and respect each other so we can get on. I feel like respect is going to be the deciding factor on fixing the dynamic in the relationship world. Because without respect, you don't have a relationship. You can have 10, 15 kids, and your man or your woman can still respect you. Y'all loyal, y'all communicate. You know that you're taking care of this woman's kids, and y'all still in the same house. But if you don't have respect, it's not going to work anyway. There's no relationship without respect. Because respect brings loyalty, it brings communicating, it brings y'all coming together to build something. So if there's no respect, we're already.
Yeah, but that's not the final argument. The final argument, the whole point of this is accountability and being able to take accountability and be real about a situation.
Okay.
Just like we seeing right now with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. Her lying about having a doctorate, her lying about being a therapist, and taking no accountability for it. Just thinking she could get on the internet because she pretty and got a nice body, shake her ass in your face, and make you forget about how she lied and played in people's face. And then we talking about something serious, people mental health. She sit up there and outed Offset for going into her DM saying he might need help with therapy. That's something very serious.
Right.
She took no accountability. As a woman, men are trained to take accountability. It's part of being a man. A man got to stand up in your face, and otherwise he's a coward. We look at men and we say, be a man. When you're younger, you fall down. My nieces, even sometimes I'm guilty of it. My nieces, they fall down, I cater to them. My nephew, you better get up. The world ain't going to hold your hand. You a man. Be a man. Toughen up. It's not the same for women. That's why Dr. Cheyenne Bryant can lie like that, and then people still come to her defense. Show me the male who did the same thing, and then people just came to his defense, lying about something.
Eric Jackson.
He didn't lie about
He cheated on his wife.
That's another thing. And who's his audience? Women.
Woman.
Yep.
Women not holding him accountable. His main audience is women who just want to hear him repeat what they want to hear, not holding him accountable. If he had a male audience, his audience would have left.
Okay.
So you just proved my point.
I'm not going to argue with you. I agree. I appreciate you coming on this show. Plug in your social media links. Where can everybody follow you at?
Dr. Will James podcast on YouTube, Dr. Will James on Instagram and Facebook.
I
and
love
TikTok.
it. Dr. Williams.
The girl came in the air, said, get him off. He's a manosphere dude. Get him out of here. That man. Like, forget red pill. He's truth pill. Seriously. Truth pill. And these ladies don't want to take that pill.
ladies and gentlemen, he also has a book, The Black Supremacy.
Black Supremacy on Amazon.
On Amazon, on all platforms. Follow him everywhere. You know where to follow me at Carisha Diva on all platforms. A very compelling conversation. When you watch this interview, make sure you like, subscribe, share. Hey, Dad, stay fabulous, stay blessed. Peace.
Yeah, man. My man went off because the audience went off, but all he did was speak the truth. And you heard when he said Kevin Samuel's name, the audience, they heckled again. And then he said something else, they heckled again. And where are they at? In the Mecca. I'm just calling it what it is. They're in Atlanta, Georgia. So it's the home of it. And the home of it needs to hear this. But when they're heckling, is it ever going to fix? Be honest. What I saw many years ago, I saw it the problem never being fixed. 11 years later, they're still heckling. Yeah, be blessed. We at the end of the video. Be sure to subscribe. Also, hype the video. I see on my other channel, people are hyping the video. I see other people saying it in the video. I didn't even know about the hype button. I barely asked you guys to like, but yeah, like so the video can reach the masses. It helps. I would definitely like to get in front of more eyes. But guys, thank you for watching. Other than that, peace out. See you next video.
The Iceman is coming!
Winter is here.